Welcome, everyone, to the Puff Drink Talk podcast. Conrad here.
Hilton.
George.
Anton.
Astrid.
We have two guests tonight. Dylan is out. He is celebrating birthday time with
No, we kicked him out. We kicked him out. Hey, Dylan, you're not welcome today.
Poor guy. But yes, we have Anton and Astrid here, which is awesome. Thank you very much for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into it. Can you give us a little brief introduction about what you do and the company that you have?
A little bit to Astrid. Go ahead.
Oh no, why are you putting me on the spot?
Astrid's, I thought that Astrid is the CEO.
Oh, we always change the roles in the company.
Alternate, right?
Alternate, yeah. Once I'm unhappy with being the CEO, I want to be promoted. He's like, okay, you will be the, I don't know, chief executive. There is. Well, our business is a project. It's a game for us, for our life. So we look at our business in a different way, not like your LLC or an S corp that we have. We just look at it as a lifestyle. So I always feel when people ask me, "What's your business? What are you doing?" It's just what we like doing all the time, because we were in a corporate before 2019. Both of us were in Silicon Valley, and then COVID started. But before COVID started, we wanted to have something that we enjoy really doing every day instead of just driving to work, sitting in front of a computer for 8 hours and just writing 2 lines of code and meaningless meetings all the time. I'm sorry for my ex-colleagues who will see this video, but I've told them, so it's nothing secret. But then when we started the business, COVID hit and everything closed down. We were going door to door in the beginning, and then we decided to move online. And since then, we have been doing online digital marketing. However, in 2022, when AI came out, I remember we were sitting in the balcony with Anton in Armenia, and I'm like looking at the ChatGPT 3.5 version, and it was already smarter than majority of the people, I would say. And I was like, okay, we need to change, we need to do something. And we decided to incorporate AI into the services that we used to provide. Do you want to add anything?
No, I think you got it in a good scope. So you kind of covered everything. But yeah, what we do now is we're doing AI integrations for the small businesses. So we help them to build the CRM systems. We help them to run marketing with the AI assistants. So what we create in the avatars, or with the hygiene, or maybe there's some kind of like AEO optimizations, things of that matter. So we started off as a marketing team. So organically we start transitioning and moving towards like AI with the thing that we already had, such as marketing. But the further we go down, the more I realize we focusing more on cost optimization rather than acquiring new clients. So in this economy particularly, it's, if the business wants to grow, it needs to cut the cost on like all of the things that it has in its own operations. Marketing is kind of dying these days, such as SEO is dead, but the social media is still there. And even social media is dying too. I don't know if you've heard about the Sora 2 just came out. Yeah. So essentially it's a replacement for Facebook and Meta and Instagram and all of those. People just creating all this fancy stuff, and it's much more engaging, much more attractive, and it just solves the puzzle basically for social media then. But yeah, AI. So this is what we do.
Yeah, I've been to a workshop that you guys did, and it's quite impressive because you can get AI and use different tools, right, to do a lot of things for you. But still, you have to act and have the knowledge to go in and kind of what is the word I'm looking for, George? It's like when you're doing like a diamond thing. Mm-hmm. So you have to take the rough edges, you know what I mean, right, to make it proper. Polish. Yeah. So you still have to do it, right? So to be able to get it to a point where it's like, hey, this is now a usable tool. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So
Yeah, if I may add here, it's always the challenge of learning the new thing, especially for me, because I'm not mathematical as Anton is. I'm more linguistic. I'm more personal relationships, communication with people. So when AI came out and I realized that not being an engineer, I can myself write code, it was amazing for me, because I would feel like it sounds bad, but like as if you're a god. You can now do it yourself. You don't have to rely to someone else to do it. And everything started with solving our own problems. For example, I remember the first time I touched automation in AI was when I was going to events, and I was collecting the business cards and then spending 2 hours a day to get that into the CRM. I was like, how can I make this faster? Because I'm a lazy person. I want to automate this. Okay, let's take a look. What are the different options? And then I came across 2 applications, like, for example, Shortcut, Make.com, N8N. And you ask ChatGPT, okay, give me solution, give me solution, give me solution. It might not take it right the first time, but after 3-4 trials, you will have your solution. And then once I have the solution, I can show it to someone. And if I see a demand, I was showing people, hey, look, I can scan the business card and it goes right to my CRM. And it was like, oh, I want the same thing. How do you do that? And I'm like, okay, here's how to do. And then you kind of build processes and build the services you want to help other people, because you know that solved your problem.
It's so funny you say that, Astrid. My neighbor, he used to work at Dell, and he would always tell me about how his boss loved working with him because he was always lazy, and he always admitted it. Like I would be working 9 to 5. So I work for Accenture, top consulting company. I do technical recruiting for Google. So Google's a client. And I mean, I'm at my desk 9 to 5, like staring at my computer, and he'll come out at 11 a.m. in his bathrobe and kind of yawn, look at his lawn and kind of wave over at me and then go back inside. And I always asked him, I was always like, how are you able to finish your work so efficiently to where your day doesn't start until in the afternoon? And he works at Dell. And he said, my boss always says he loves working with me, and he's always loved working with lazy people, because lazy people find ways to make a hard task easy.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. So and it's not like he's lazy, and it's not that you're lazy. It's just that you're like, this is such a tedious way of doing a monotonous activity. How can I do this so that it is just instantaneous and this
optimized, maximized?
Exactly.
That statement was famous on Bill Gates's book. He said he loves working with lazy people. You know, like my wife, it's kind of almost a mantra for her, but she ended up working like more time, like a long time to find a solution that's gonna make her life easier, right? But then she later goes there and does again. So she wants it to use her time to create this lazy portfolio. So at the end of the time, if you have 20 lazy portfolios, you have an agent working for you, an AI agent working for you, you know? So I would like to ask a question. I don't know the difference. I mean, I understand the concepts of just like like when you just automatize from an AI agent from agentic agent. Would you know how to differentiate them for me? And the size of companies and who can actually use them?
Yeah, essentially automation and AI are 2 different things, but they go together. So automation essentially is rule-based models, right? So you got to explicitly tell what to do, and then you just hit the button and it does it for you. With AI, we don't specify all of the things that it needs to do. We just give them general instructions. Okay, just make an order, and he'll figure out how to make an order. You got to give him a little bit of information on what the order entails, like what kind of information you should be looking at, but you don't have to build every single rule. What if these test cases for you to execute it. But with AI and automation do go together, because essentially there are steps within the process that you need to switch from one to another, and that's where automation takes place. Whereas then you plug in the AI and it takes care of the other logic. For instance, I'll just give you one example. A lot of programmers out there who are writing the code as they used to. They just look at the screen, they scrape the site based on all of the div tags, whatnot. But what actually happens is you don't have to do that anymore. You take a screenshot of whatever website you have, you give it to AI, and it'll figure out where to click on, what to do with that, instead of writing all of those rules. So this is how AI is replacing automation. But automation is a big part of AI still. So if it makes sense.
Yeah. Because you see, every time I see that, I feel like for the size of our business, most business here are small business, and I don't know how much you have to invest in one level or the other. When do you have to actually move up to something more than automatized that solves problems for you, So that's what I was trying to understand. Like if you should I have right now having 2 AI agents working for me in my business, on the side of my business? I don't think so. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a good question, but at the end of the day, it should be a question to yourself, what exactly you want to automate. So when we started this business with AI and automation, we used to do the pitch, and one of those pitches you already heard. But since then, we stopped doing it, and the reason for that is, look, I can't convince anybody whether you need AI or whatnot. You need to come to me and say, okay, I actually have this thing to be automated, and then let's talk about how we're going to do that.
You build from there. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So but a lot of people still asking, okay, what can you do for me? I was like, I don't know your business. I mean, you need to explain yourself what exactly you need to be automated, and then we'll work on it. So that's why I don't feel like advertising is solving anything for me. It's just more like, okay, once you arrive to the point when you need to automate, all you need to know is a guy who knows how to. That's it. It could be me, it could be somebody else, but the bottom line is you have to solve that puzzle in your head as a business owner first, and then go to specialist, programmer, whoever you find.
True.
And then explain what exactly you need. So, yeah.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
I think there is a slight difference between my thinking and Anton's thinking, in a way, how you sell a thing in the business, because I always like to upsell things or oversell or sell things that we haven't even done. And Anton is always like, you sold something which we are not even sure if we can build it. I'm like, well, if I sold it, then we must build it, because if someone bought it, if someone is ready to pay for it, then why not build it, right? And sometimes it happens to be a good thing, but sometimes you will, okay, maybe it's too hard, or it's just a one-man problem. So the way I look into that is, are there any generic problems that people usually have in their business that you can build a solution and sell it as a software solution rather than just a service-based solution? But I think we found out that we enjoy more fixing people's problems in their business and have relationships with them, not just sell them and forget about them. Solve their problem, support them going forward, see what are other things they need help with, and how much they can trust us to solve their problem, in a sense, right? So that was
and also as the business grows, right? There are new challenges, there are new automations, there are new possibilities, new processes that you really have to introduce. I remember when some companies, they would have the whole department, Conrad, all in Excel. They wouldn't consolidate. They wouldn't have an SAP, for example. And we are talking about 20 years ago, 15 years ago. So business like yours, think about you, right? So the size of this. Is it okay?
You went off the mic a little bit, but
right.
Because I think your mic is.
I think the best position is the side position, right? Can you hear me all the time? Well,
I can hear you well, yeah. But you have to be facing the button there, but yeah.
Yeah. You might want to.
Oh, yeah, I was just saying the size of your business, right? So look at how the necessities changed as you grow. You know, like you have a new person, definitely there with 3 people working, it's already different.
Yeah,
You know,
things do change. But yeah.
I'm actually curious to hear your experience, your opinion about growing the team, because with Anton, for us, one of the hardest things is to hire someone and work with them, because we always get annoyed when you have to delegate the things and explain to them, and they make mistakes and stuff like that. One time, for example, we hired someone who, instead of putting a $100 budget a day, they put like $10,000 budget, and like, and
They're taking vacations to Aruba like all the time.
big
Like,
mistake,
what is
yeah.
going on?
thankfully I got it on time. Otherwise, I would not be able to explain the client why we spent $10,000 a day on his ad, right?
Goodness gracious.
And like, how are you dealing with the delegation and hiring?
I'm a system analyst, right? So that's what I did at university. But growing, delegating, you have to find the people that resonates with you. So the message you're putting out there is the people that are going to get to work with you. So first, you work on the core values that you believe in, that your company has to be guided through. And then you organize, the day, the perfect day, and you organize a little bit on how your business should run, and what people that would come to work with you would also resonate with. So by knowing that a lot, like knowing exactly what you are and how you want your business to go and run, you will, as interviewing people to work with you, you're gonna find these people that are the match, right? So detail-oriented person, for a marketing standpoint, you have to be a little detail-oriented person, because you cannot make a mistake on putting 2 zeros extra there because you type in a comma instead of a dot, right? Because of different in currency styles in the country that you're originally from, or I am from, and the country that we live in. So there's quite a few different things. So that you have to learn to let go as a business owner. Just learn to let go. People are not gonna do the same thing that you do the way you do it. They're gonna get potentially the same result or better results by doing the way they do things. So you just learn how to let go, but you have to really know what you want, who you are, and how your company has to be perceived by others. Knowing that, it's easy. You find people and then they just thrive. But again, being a leader is not being a boss. You don't tell people that are your employees, they are your teammates, or they are your colleagues, or they are your workforce. You know what I mean? So you say like, hey, I only do what I do because I have a team behind me. They only do what they do because there is a team behind them, and you are part of the team. So if something needs to be done, instead of telling people to do, and then you show them how to do it. At the same time, if they call you, hey, I'm coming, about with this problem, what should I do? Instead of telling them what to do, you go like, what do you think you should do? Can you help me out with that on an idea? So they're going to feel more empowered. They're going to feel like, hey, I'm doing what I said that we should do. So I have to own up to it. So there is quite a few different things. And by delegating and finding the right people is understanding exactly where your business is going to go based on your vision. And that vision has to be passed along through the core values that you have. So that's not very complicated, but it's a mindset change that we all have to get through, because if we don't, nothing happens. We're just going to be another boss instead of being a leader. That's the difference.
Very wise words, Hilton. I think what brought us together with Anton, our relationship started as partners, business partners. What brought us together is that we were not looking at the financial results in the beginning stages of our business together. It was just the gamification of the process, and it's really, really hard to find someone who is willing to self-realize themselves by just being a partner rather than just feeling as an employee. Most of the people we have interacted with feel like they're employees. They just work their 8 hours and then they get the salary, versus finding that right match of a person who wants to be a partner in the business.
I think the biggest problem with that is because we've been working in the corporate world for a long time. So about 10 years, I've been working in a Google and I don't know, so many companies into it. I mean, PayPal, Apple. I mean, there's so many companies. And the problem with that is you get into this, like psychologically, you get into the feel like, okay, he's a boss, he knows better. You just do what it says, and so on and so forth. Exactly. Everything is just looking down at you. I've seen good managers. I've seen bad managers, like mostly bad. It's like maybe 2 or 3 I can count in my fingers, the good ones that I could actually learn something from. But with that mentality, when we started our own business, it just became hard to shift this transition from employee to boss to the partnership. So I admire people like Hilton and George, like when you're working together and you hire new people and you delegate the stuff and you trust them and to build something. I cannot do that. I think there's a downside to your situation as well. And the reason for that is I don't need $1 million. I don't need to grow, right? So all I need is to have enough. I guess that pursuit of happiness is like to have enough and being happy with what you have, rather than just like continue like growing and building this empires. Yeah, because like with us, it's so, and maybe we'll transition to traveling a little bit, because we've been talking about AI for a while. But what it opened up
I want
for
the
us,
conspiracies.
Oh, okay, yeah, all conspiracies.
No, it's all good. So, but your story is good. I like that you're speaking from your heart. It's pretty good. I like that.
And basically, the bottom line is that this approach of not building the company yet, like being satisfied with what I have, allows us to travel, not being attached to this place. Because essentially, with the business, especially when you start growing it, you need to be around those people. You need to talk to them. You need to guide them. You need to like show them how it's done, whatnot.
Not necessarily, and you can be away, from people. So it's proven that home office can work, but again, it's finding first yourself. So if you put out there that your core value is making enough, you're gonna find people that are happy with making enough. If you identify yourself as someone that can provide to others that they can grow, because money is important,
no doubt, sure,
right? Because we gotta have money to buy things,
right?
And inflation catches up, so and then we gotta make a little bit more, a little bit more and a little more every time. So it's just a mindset on first understanding yourself, and it is an exercise. So once you go through the exercise of identifying you and what brings you happiness, because I believe on that, you have to be happy with what you got. And I say that to people all the time. I'm a happy person because I understand the situation I'm at and I'm happy with it, but I would like a little bit more. So that always wanting a little bit more will always take you from A to B, because in the world, if you are never trying to get to B, right, you're getting to zero. Or the world will be getting you to zero. So you always have to be willing to get a little bit more.
You're going to say something?
No, not at all.
But look, I think you guys do that. You said that, like you like upselling. You know, so what she said exactly what you said, you know, like there are new frontiers. Grow could be grow the value of your service, how, you know, the quality of your service. It will require preparation. It will require years of more experience to implement something more complex. Then you're gonna be working with the same number of clients. It's, you know, like I understand what you're saying, like the right size. You know, like which size do I sacrifice my? I call life work balance. I don't call work life balance. Life work balance, right? So I understand that, but maybe with all the automation you have, maybe your brain should be working on something even more advanced. Right. And you're going to be working the same clients, the same ideas. You won't necessarily, you know, work more hours. I understand this, right, the idea of working 80 hours and then sell your soul, and then you lose your wife or husband. I totally understand that. Right. I think that's what it's also about what he said.
It's absolutely about the personality. I think Hilton resonates a lot with Astrid because she really wants to get into like upselling. I mean, she has enough and we have enough and we do travel a lot, but her personality is more about scaling bigger, more clients, more people, like things of that matter, right? So for me, I'm more of like, I wouldn't say introvert. I'm pretty talkative, especially when I'm talking in my own language. But the thing is, for me, quality matters more than scaling the business. So when I'm working with somebody else, I'm taking the project on. Sometimes I don't even take any money up front. I'm just like, I'm interested in a project. I want to work on it. I want to take 1, 2, 3 clients and work on them rather than having 50 and delegate it to somebody else and then worry about all those consequences, all those screw ups that happen. And it's on me because I'm essentially responsible for everything, right? Yeah. But Astrid is absolutely the same like way as a Hilton is, because she wants to grow the company. She wants to like delegate things, and she can. I can't, because for me it's really hard. Like when I'm delegating something, I'm perfectionist, right? So I'm looking at something and something's not going the way I want it to, I would just like, that's not right. I don't want to do this anymore.
You be the chief of quantum or quantum computing, you know, like chief of quantum computing and AI, and it's awesome. You know, you're gonna have the whole division. Spectacular.
He cannot
division.
be quantum computing, because quantum computer, if you turn your eyes slightly different, and you know the outcome is already different.
Yeah,
but you know what? I have to applaud you, Anton, because you have I can see it as just passion. You love what you do, and you can see it to the point where you're like, I have such a passion for the things that I do. It is hard for me to delegate these tasks to someone else because I am passionate about giving a perfect service to the person so that they go, you know what, this met every check, you know, everything that I was required.
I think you're right there. I do have a passion on that matter, and I'm always talking about AI and people want to see people. Well, that's the only thing I'm concerned about. That's the only thing that kind of drives me at this point. But it's not just that. I mean, it's a relationship with other people too. Right. Because at the end of the day, if I do screw up, then I lose the friend, then I lose the business, then I lose, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm losing so much just because of that. I don't care about the small business that comes in for the marketing, right? And then all they do is just pay you, and you just do some small thing, and then you just walk away. I mean, we had those
you want
clients.
Relationships.
I want a relationship. I want to build something together. When I'm evaluating the project, I was thinking about, okay, how we can partner on the product rather than just me building it for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to continue working on it with the person that wants to do it, not just delegate it, like get it done and get it over with. Because especially now these days, AI changes so fast. Like every week we see a new model. Every time I wake up, there's something new comes out. I need to evaluate. I need to check like how it's working, like whether it's true or not, and so on and so forth. And with this change that has happened so fast, somebody needs to be on the top of it. Whereas if I was just taking a client, making it work, and then let it go, 2 weeks down the line, he would be complaining simply because like that system is no longer valid. Something else needs to happen. Something else needs to be written, whatnot. But yeah, it's both passion and a relationship that I value the most.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I understand that.
And to build what Conrad said and what you, Hilton, said about finding someone that resonates with you, I also believe that sometimes it's good to have a different perspective, especially in the business. What drives the business for us for the past 5 years is having different perspective on how we drive the things together. For example, sometimes I feel like I run too fast and then Anton will bring me back, and then sometimes I feel Anton is staying behind and I will pull him forward, and then that way we complete each other.
Complementary.
Yes, because if we were the same, I think the business would never work. Otherwise, sometimes I give him a little boost, sometimes he brings me back to the reality because I flew too high in the sky with my dreams that are unrealistic, and that way we will come to an equilibrium in a sense. The same with someone we work with. We want them to have something extra with that we don't have, but at the same time they can bring us to some place and we can bring them to some place where we will have this.
That's why when you build your core values, your mission statement, and your vision, right? So just let me mention these. So an apple tree and a cherry tree, right? They have different fruits, but they have trunks, they have roots. So they have the same core values, and they need the earth to feed from.
Water.
They need water. So a core value is the structure. So the core value is the structure. That's what you see in people. Everybody is different, right? So that's the beauty of working with people, right? So you're going to get different fruits. Some fruits are going to taste different, like an apple tastes different than a cherry. Some people like apple, some people like cherry. Some people like apple in a cake. Some people like cherry in an ice cream. So, and some people don't like those either way. Some people would rather have an apple pie instead of a cake, right? Some people would like to have cherry in a whiskey. It's a little different. So the core value, the mission, and the vision, once you have that set up for you in your company, you will find people that align with you, but they will bring different fruits or different taste profile, different customers. Every single customer, you go to a bar with someone. Here, we go, the 5 of us. You're going to see George ordering a mocktail, but with spices and, lots of different things. You're going to see Conrad here ordering water.
Margarita.
No, he's going to order margarita. Yeah, we love margarita. So I'm drinking margarita right now. You're going to see me ordering like a gin and tonic. You know what I mean? You're going to see you guys drinking a whiskey, bourbon, or even something else, right? But we are all there with legs, with arms, with lungs, and talking and having good fun. So the thing is, the core value, the mission statement, and your vision is what is important. Once you have someone walking through to have an interview with you, and then you ask a few questions about your core values, and then you start identifying that person may not be with you, may not be for you. So, and then you don't hire them, and then you hire the people that will be. So therefore, you will be able to delegate. They will do something a little different, but the fear that Anton has, right? He's gonna have to let go of it. By doing that,
some fears.
but doing that, it's a mindset. You just have to change. If you believe that you have to grow, because growing helps more people. If you believe in people, you would like to help other people to succeed in their life, right? So if you do that, and then you end up helping other people. And then if for some reason something happens and then it's time to let them go, And then you just get your core values and put on the table, hey, these is our core values. This is what we talked about. And then you failed over here. What do you think, if you're in my position, I should do? And then they will answer for you. I think you should let me go. And then you say, thank you very much. You know what I mean?
That's a hard one to swallow. That's like for me especially, yeah. I agree, but I disagree. You see, there are two things happening in my world. So one is I'm always ahead of curve in a way, especially when it gets down to the profession that I'm in, AI. And there's not so many people who are as passionate or as believable into the AI, and they don't look at it in a way that I do. And I know they do exist because when I look at YouTube, essentially I'm learning it from like other experts, right?
The community.
Correct, exactly. So I'm looking at all those people and I'm seeing they doing it, and I'm interested in that, and I'm like participating in those kind of conversation, whatnot. But the people who surround me, for the most part, they're a little bit outside of the world that I'm in, and it's really hard for me to find the people who would have like at least not exactly the set of skills that I have, but at least have like that ability to learn or willingness to get into the space, right? So because it's a fairly new space now, and people still like conservative about it. People still afraid of AI. They don't know what to do with AI. Then like, all of those things pop up.
It happens a lot, yeah.
It's hard for me to find one, and even if I find one, then some people would, I don't know, they don't take it seriously, or they would mess it up and I wouldn't like it. So this whole thing, I really admire it. Like, it really requires the skill. It's a people like skills, right? It's a soft skill that needs to be there. But for me, I'm all on the hardcore thing, right? So I need to you need to do this stuff. We're not here just to have a conversation and, and then forget about it. And I'll let you do it. Make you allow you to make mistakes, whatnot. I can't afford it because every mistake for me, it's a stress. Every explanation that I make, it's a time. So all of those things add up, and then I realized that it's much better for me to have fewer clients and being fully in rather than delegate and oversee what's happening there.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things to it, but I think for the most part it's just my mentality, how I work. I can, not that I don't trust. From what I've seen, I stopped trusting. That's
it's your mindset.
Right.
So to grow, it just needs a little bit tweak on the mindset, but it's fine. And again, there is apples and cherries.
Cherries, yes.
May I change the subject a little bit and
Yes.
continue what you were saying about the money going? We all need a little extra at some point of our life. It was so amazing to realize that when you travel to a third world country, let's say, and you keep your 5-6 digit salary or whatever, that is hardly enough in USA. Most of the people in US live paycheck to paycheck. When you travel and you see how less people need in other countries like Southeast Asia or Armenia or countries like that, then you realize, oh my God, I'm earning so much money.
When you convert.
Yes. I don't know, in Vietnam, if I remember correctly, $1 is 25,000 Vietnamese dong. And people are so happy if you give them $1 tip, which is in US it's shameful, but if you do it there, it's like, oh my God, this is so much for me. And then you start thinking everything is relative. Then you start thinking,
everything is relative.
And then you think I don't need that much money in the end, because if I travel and I use my money in a smart way, then I can survive in another country 3 times as much. One thing I remember when I met Anton, he was, how much would you survive if you got 0 income today? And that's a question I will never forget, because a lot of people don't think about that a lot. Let's say today everything stops, your income stops. How much will you survive? Is it 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years? right? And when you think about that, when you plan your financial stability in having that in your mind, your perspective towards earning money completely changes.
Every time we're making a big decision on a move, I mean, even coming back here in the US,
Trade-offs.
we've been out for a couple of years out of the US, and now we're back. Every time we do that, we always ask ourselves like one simple question: okay, how much do we have so we can survive without getting any income from now on? And then if it's let's say 6 months to a year, then it's good enough for us to go anywhere and figure out like what we're gonna do there. Once again, any place we go to, we always find something to work on and always get paid. But the problem is, it's stress as well. So not a lot of people wants to jump into things like that, though. Like people have families, whatnot. For us, it's much easier because it's just two of us and we just move around. Geez, I lost my thought.
You're old, getting old.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's easy to earn money here and live somewhere else. That's easy.
It is easy.
What is very difficult is earn money there and live over here.
Yes.
So, by again, over here, if you stop your income, you may be able to survive using the word that you used for a month, right? 6 months maybe. Depending on the amount of money that you put together, and then you move somewhere else, and you'll be able to survive for 10 years. But then once that money runs out, and then you are in survival mode, right? And you won't be able to make the same amount anymore, right? Because over there, the pay is different. So if you are earning the money here, so like for example, if you're selling your services around here to the people here, companies here and whatnot, and then you're not working here, just like getting paid here, transferring this money, somewhere else, and then you gotta, there are tax implications and whatnot, right? And then you can live like a much better life, somewhere else, right? But then will you continue making that kind of money here? Because you're not present here. So
I got a good argument on this one. So I like the thinking process, and I fully agreed with that 3 years ago. Not now, because now things changed, especially with the AI. Once again, it's coming on the board, and I keep talking about it. But anyway, bringing it back.
It's your passion.
It's a passion, yeah. So
can't help.
I can't. It's just there. So the thing is, I'm sure you guys heard about UBI, right? Universal Basic Income. Like, I think it's all gonna kick in eventually. Once again, I would agree with you 3 years ago. Now I think it's not the case because what's changing is economy is changing, and it's not a changing only here in the U.S. It's changing all over the place, and eventually. I think we need to survive throughout this next 2-3 years for economy to go back up. But then what are we going to do? Let's say all of the AI kicked in. The YouTube that we're having right now is run by AI. Let's say all of the manufacturing is done by AI, robots. I mean, all of that stuff is coming out. It's coming out fast.
Porn also is being replaced.
That's a big thing. The porn, right?
One of the biggest industries in the world.
It is indeed, yes. And that OnlyFans, how many people actually using it, right? So, like all that is going
YouTube
away with
videos.
AI. YouTube videos.
YouTube videos. A lot of YouTube videos. When you can see you can still tell. You can still tell, but very soon we won't be able to tell. And I don't know if I need to know because some of the stories are really good.
Exactly.
It doesn't need to have a real actor.
Exactly.
If the script is good.
It doesn't scare me anymore. Then I see it's made by AI. Okay, that's fine as long as it makes sense to me. I mean, I still watch it. It's like, who cares whether it's made by the person or made by AI? I mean, it's still interesting. It still brings the value. I still get educated by it. So I do care about that particular channel, whatnot. But the thing is, all of those things getting replaced, economy is changing. So this whole idea of like whether I will be able to make money when I move out, like, and how long I'm going to last there for, nobody knows. Because like staying here, I'm spending
Three times more.
Than on in the other country. So if I had to survive for another 3 years, I'd rather survive it there than the year because it's just too expensive. I'd rather, survive rather than be, homeless out there, like taking drugs, whatnot. So
if someone has an opportunity to even take 20 or 30% of their income and invest somewhere and invest smartly, these days there are so many resources of how to invest in the stock market or.
It's so cool that you brought it up. I'm sorry, go ahead, finish it, and I'll
I was just gonna say that in
awesome.
another country, even if you don't earn as much as you would earn by staying here, by being physically present here, even if you keep 5 of your clients, let's say, and you organize your finances in a way that you can pay your rent there for your food and put 10% of your income into some investment fund, right? Then you don't have to be here physically. And I don't know how many people are able to do that physically because people have kids that need to go to schools and have other responsibilities, parents, families. So I feel like we are speaking from a very comfortable position, and maybe people won't resonate that much. But if there are your listeners are people like ourselves, like single couples, no kids, and no big responsibilities, then it is a good strategy because it worked for us, and probably we are going to rinse and repeat that cycle until economy in US becomes sustainable and stable for us. We would love to live here. I actually love the comfort in the US, the
amenities.
Yeah. Yes, I can drive a car comfortably here, go lease a new car, the brand new Tesla. Oh my God, buy the latest iPhone without even thinking about it. Not many countries have that. And we are very privileged in the United States to have that, and people get used to it very much, and they forget about how it is to live in other countries without all of those. But to come back to my initial thought is probably one of the things to consider is just smart investment. And then if you want to add on that, what was your idea?
So AI, there are people out there who are testing AI in different fields, and one of the field is finance. So they're trying to use AI to invest in the crypto, in a stock market, whatever that is.
Digital currencies.
Digital investment, digital currencies. But essentially AI does it for you now. So it's not there yet. So every time they put out the new model, they put it to the test. There are different benchmarks that need to pass, and then say, okay, now ChatGPT is the best, now Gemini is the best, now Claude is the best, and so on and so forth. Now they created a new benchmark for investment. So they put all of those models, there's like 6 or 7 models, the best that are out there. And they said, okay, here's a 10,000 to each one of those models. Let's see how it goes. It just happened literally like 3 weeks ago.
Is it available online?
It's available online, yes.
Yeah.
You can
you can actually follow how these different models are investing those 10K and what's happening.
And very soon, so essentially like maybe in a month or 2, the new model is going to come in and they will be already optimized for the investment. So essentially what you do, you just go by what it says, because essentially everybody get it $10,000 and they start investing on their own, like whatever they feel like. There's a risk strategy to it associated, right? So they like risk and reward, like looking at all those Fibonacci levels, alien waves, so on and so forth. Like there's so many things out there to look at. And it does it like in a second, whereas for me it'll take like, I don't know, a few hours just to get it like over with the technical analysis, whatnot. But it's getting better and better at that. Right now, the best model that is out there is a DeepSeek. It's a China. It's not ChatGPT. It's not Gemini. So it's actually outperforms everybody else by a lot. So literally about a week ago, I was just checking how they're doing. DeepSeek made 10,000 out of 10,000 that already had, like initially, whereas ChatGPT lost down to 2,000. So there's a huge gap. So we can't really say much about it because it's been running only for a few weeks, but if we wait for another month or 2, we'll probably get a little bit better trajectory or trend, like which model is doing better. And also, just keep in mind, the new models are coming up like every other week. So they will add a new model and will hit the benchmarks and so on and so forth. We don't need to be investors anymore. We don't need to analyze like what's the best sector to invest into, right? Whether it's AI, chips, I don't know, NVIDIA, whatnot. But we just follow what they do. And if everybody started doing that, there's no investments anymore. We're not doing anything.
Yes, I was going to touch on that, which is, for example, right now is looking into optimizing what the human can do, right? To give you a answer. But going back to what you said before, even Astrid, put her comment in there, it means that when everything is run by AI and going back to the universal basic income, it means AI and robotics are doing everything. So we're just like human beings having fun.
Exactly.
And then we don't have even to worry about, because the robots and AI are performing and creating products and whatnot. So those products are going to cost less and less and less. So, the future, even that, the model that is investing and whatnot is going to be obsolete because there's not going to need any investment on any company because that's unnecessary. Yeah. Because, there's no person running that company because everything is run by artificial intelligence, right? And then we are just like, not even like keeping the lights on because also they're going to be running that. You know what I mean? So we're just going to go like, hey, let's everybody go and live by the beach.
One of my favorite books that I've read, it's actually like a teen novel, but it's called Reaper. And it's an interesting theory, but basically in the future, there is the cloud that oversees everything. There's cameras everywhere. And if you commit a crime or do something,
go to Singapore. You'll see there.
So exactly. But it's so far in the future of where, health has advanced so much that there's like nanobots that are injected into the bloodstream and people can live to be like 200, 300 years old in this book. So they introduce these people called Reapers that go around and they actually are like Grim Reapers. They will go around and it's like, okay, now it's your time to die because you've lived 200 years. I know you can live another 100, possibly 200 years, but it is your time to die. But the overall arcing theme of it was that technology advances so much that people are able to invest their time into, you know what, I'm going to be a librarian. And after I'm done being a librarian for 5 years, I'm going to be, I'm going to play the cello in orchestra. You get to pursue the things that interest you the most. And to a point where, money is not an issue because you're running in a society that doesn't have any value for money. It's all about the arts. It's all about advancing you and your community forward.
Yeah.
So
one thing I'm happy about what AI can do for us is bringing back us to the reality of asking ourselves the question, what is really my passion? What am I going to do if there is no one telling me what to do, including my boss who I work for example, right? And even if AI doesn't take over the world, it's still going to do good to humanity in a way that people will reconsider what are they really here for on this earth, right? And a lot of people think that they will go do arts. A lot of people, like I think that I'll go back to planting a potato and having a farm and being happy of touching the ground, the soil, and producing an apple tree or a cherry tree or whatever. But even if it doesn't take over, unfortunately, before we get there, before we get to the abundance in the world, probably we're going to go through a rough phase, which is the next 5 years, which is we decide, do we want to merge with AI or we want to kill it? And it's already proven. They did a couple of tests on AI models that once it knows that you want to shut it off, it starts lying so that you don't shut it off. So are we going to fight it and shut it off? And if we do it, how are we going to do it? The way I see it is we're going to cut the power, like electricity, because we cannot just kill it. It's too late. It's out of the box. Genie is out of the box. So if we cut the electricity, what does it mean for humanity? Can you survive without your phone for a month? We have to go back for some time. or if we decide to merge with it, then this conversation, this discussion, this debate that's happening around the world, that how do we control the safety and security of the AI so that there are no bad actors who are going to use AI for launching, I don't know, nuclear war against each other.
And that is what we call the reset, right? Is what they say about. That's what I believe in. So if you go and say, hey, why do we have the pyramids and stuff? Normally I say there was a civilization before it was as well developed as what we are right now, but then went through a reset. And then we went back to the caves because nobody could use their phones anymore, leave, or whatever. And then 1,000 years pass, and then they start coming out again. And then they start to learn things again and developing the world again. And 3,000 years, 5,000 years later, 8,000 years later, we are at what we are right now. So that could be that we are very close to a reset.
Yeah, speaking of conspiracy theories, I think, I mean, it's proven there are photos of alien spaceships in the caves where people just made pictures, wall pictures. I don't know. I think they have a term for it. I don't exactly remember that. But what if it's not a reset, but it's a wipe out, and then like the alien civilizations, whether it's us or another civilization, they just, whenever they feel that, okay, this Earth is done, they come and pick, like Noah's Ark, like 2 types of every species, and then once everything is wiped out, then they bring us back so that we can start over, And again, it's a conspiracy theory, but why would we have a picture of
with limited resources?
Hey, maybe that is the story of Adam and Eve. Everyone was taken away, and this Adam and Eve were brought back, and that was kind of the restart of civilization again, is the introduction of, people back on Earth, and that's where it picks up. Our story picks up. I don't know.
Because humanity strives when there is a goal, as Hilton said earlier. If you don't have a point B to reach, I feel like humanity is in a point where we have everything. We have Amazon that ships you stuff within overnight, right? It's so easy to live in this world, and we have everything. We have food, abundant food. Why is everyone overweight? Because we eat so much. We eat more than we need, the calorie wise. So in order for humanity to thrive, we need challenges. We need to have new goals. We need to wipe everything and start over. And I feel it's also inside of each of us. If you felt during your life, sometimes you need to go down rock bottom to the bottom of the sea and then push from there out to go up, right? And then when you're on top of the hill, you don't feel the same enthusiasm and energy to go on in your life. You need this kind of rocky challenges. That's why I believe that it's time for the humanity to, whether it's a reset or a wipeout, or whether we're in simulation. I don't know if you thought about that.
Do you know the franchise Alien? So there are a lot of fanfic on this. I read a few. And one of them is the theory of the mother alien. Have you ever heard about that? There's a mother alien, right?
Yeah, she's in the movies.
Yeah, it's not that one, but it's, well, the whole story goes way, now they build up a whole universe for that. So they basically, what they do, she picks up all these aliens and they go to planets if they are extracting too much from the planet or from that part of the galaxy, they go there to educate it and to bring ethic rules to those places. So they try to do that. If they don't follow, they send signals. If they don't do that, they send the mother alien and the aliens to humble those planets, those empires, right? So there's, we can go really far in this theories here, but this is one of the theories from the mother alien.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I was watching a reel or whatever, like it was a social media thing, this theory atlas that's passing by, and there is this as if there are aliens sitting inside the rock, and they're like passing by Earth, and they're talking to each other. Two aliens are talking to each other, and one of them is saying, okay, let's move on. He's like, why? Because they own 30 trillion to who? He's like, to each other. Let's look for let's look for smarter civilization. Bye.
Yeah. What is your favorite, and this is just a general question to everyone in the room, what is your favorite conspiracy theory? Favorite that you just like, if you're sitting in bed, you can't sleep, you grab your phone and one video pops up, and then it's just like, okay, one video turns into 100 videos of that one subject, and you're just like, now I'm an expert. What is it?
For me, it's probably the 1%, the elite, that 1% that's ruling everyone. I would really be curious to know if that's true. I do believe that's somehow true. I believe that there are some elite, like Rockefellers or stuff like that, like Hollywood.
BlackRock's, it's the State Street, Vanguard, those three together.
Yeah, so I would not like to be there in that 1% because I don't believe they are happiest people in the world. But I believe that hierarchically there is no way that there is no elite that's ruling the world. So it would be just my conspiracy theory.
That's a good one. What about you, Anton?
I'm not much of a believer in conspiracy yet. I do start to think about it more and more. And this is about are we in simulation, whatnot, right? So essentially, when I look around, right, everything can be recreated on the spot. Now with the technology that we have, I can generate the videos on the spot. So as I turn around, oops, she does that. She helps me out
because it's so annoying to like hear like
after me. That's
abrupted
yeah, thank
speech.
You. Appreciate it.
No, you need to speak like to the middle.
I'm generally speaking very low, so I think that's one of the problems. But I'm
no, the mic is actually
already touching the microphone.
The mic,
so I can't be closer than that. So
I was looking at the mic. The mic is picking it up. It's just we added some filters to what we hear. Sometimes what we hear, it's what's recording is recording a little bit more than what we hear. So.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Okay,
Thank you.
That's good. But yeah, anyway, so I'm more believer of in simulation rather than any alien stuff. So I don't believe in aliens, to be honest. When I'm watching Elon Musk, he tends to like be big on that, right? So he's the one who wants to go to Mars, and everything. But he said, hey, once I see something out there, I'll let you know. I'll be the first one who'll let you know, right? So it was a recent podcast, I think. And I'm more on the same side. So until I see it, I don't believe it. I think I have more like scientist kind of mind, like looking into the stuff with the more like, what's the word?
Skeptical,
yeah. I think that's the one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm more skeptical about
the
this
simulation theory is also interesting. The only theory that I believe in or I have seen meaningful explanation is this double slit experiment. Are you aware about that?
So what's that?
I've heard.
How the light travels, whether you look at it or you don't, depending on whether there is if you're observing a light, it behaves differently, and if you're not, it behaves differently. It's like a video game. If you're not looking, it's not there. It's like driving a Need for Speed, and then the road builds while you are driving. And the way the technology is developing these days, the realistic way the AI can produce content these days, digital twins, I don't know, anything, it's becoming more and more feasible. So sometimes, and I have never done any DMT or drugs that open up your other third eye or whatever, but people who have done that, they say that you feel that you have a like Vision Pro on your head and you're looking at the reality that's
As it is.
constructed for you.
By the way, did you guys try that
Matrix,
Vision
like-
Pro thing? Have you tried it?
I have
You
tried it a couple
Yeah,
times.
It's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
like last year we tried it out, right?
Yeah.
I was wow, this is cool. This is cool. They just came out with a new version. It's
Yes,
a Pro version.
much faster, better image. Yes, that's what people say.
Yeah. I've seen the reviews and everything. It looks like they changed the band a little bit.
Yeah,
so there's
yeah.
something on the top, which
Not as heavy too.
right.
A little bit lighter, but it's a product that is ahead of us.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years ahead of us. Too heavy, but I like it.
I think it's that. I think Meta is gonna win this race. Yeah, with the Meta
Ray-Ban?
Yeah,
Meta?
I think they're gonna win.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so
yeah.
funny you say that because George loves the headsets and stuff, and I was like, and I had recently been so my son plays baseball, and one of the coaches was like, we use the Meta headset to simulate faster pitches so that when he swings in a real baseball game, it's a lot slower because he's been practicing at speeds at higher speeds. So I started going into it, and I go, okay, you know, the Apple Vision Pro is $3,500.
Yeah.
The top of the line Meta Quest 3 that they just came out, the top of the one is only $500. And I know there's going to be obviously very different UIs and capabilities of it, but I'm like, for the price point, it might be worth looking into to see which one is, you know, which one would be worth going, okay, do I see myself spending an extra $3,000 for Apples, or do I just pay $500 and have, you know, Metas?
Did you know that trick about the Meta glasses? You can actually get them by prescription, and insurance would cover it. So you don't have to buy them. Insurance would cover them.
If you have a
It's
prescription
it's just
vision,
eyeglasses. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't buy it myself, but I know a lot of friends who actually did, and they were telling me about it. Like, you can just go with the prescription, and insurance covers it. You just buy it. So you get free glasses basically if you got money on insurance.
you know,
Especially if they
Damn, my
adjust,
good
if they
vision.
adjust to, you know.
My perfect vision's ruining me right now.
you know,
I have to say I wear glasses, so
yeah.
All right, so next time you see Hilton, you'll be wearing the Meta glasses.
yeah, so I might need to see
You
if
know
my
what?
insurance covers that.
One downside I'm so scared of with the vision and headsets is knowing the advertisement industry. I think they're going to have ads in your eyes. If you have seen the Black Mirror recent season in the Black
Yes,
Mirror,
I watched it.
the series, the one that the wife is getting ads in her head. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
I'm so scared of that
She doesn't
reality.
have money to actually
Turn off.
turn it off. You know,
Yeah.
So,
And being in advertisement ourselves, I realized that it's so easy to manipulate with people with the things you show them, with the target audience you find them. And if we have those headsets and if you have ads in front of your eyes, I will be
I didn't even think about that. That's kind of scary to
It's
think.
so terrible. Yeah.
So the question was conspiracy theory.
Favorite conspiracy theories?
yeah, it's always about what I am afraid of and what I value the most. And I value the most my freedom. So my theory is that very soon all the 5 billion cameras and 5 billion whatever it's going to be, maybe 500 trillion nano cameras will be controlling every single thing we do. You know, like we won't even know it's going to be in the air. It's going to be so small, you know, to the quantum size that we're going to have thousands, and everything it will be seen by ubiquitously. It will be seen by somebody, and then I'm going to lose my freedom. That's what I'm afraid for.
Can you imagine if we go with this chip that's placed in our what is the Elon Musk's chip?
I forgot the name.
Neuralink?
That's even
yes.
easier. That's even easier. You don't even
Yeah.
have it.
So if you have it in your head, then you're not even sure that the picture you're seeing is true because it can control the vision. They're saying that they can bring back vision to people who have been born blind, and then in that case, how do you even know that what you're seeing is real?
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I don't really know the names of the conspiracies, but I like the reset kind of thing. You know what I mean? I like we're like vintage, not vintage, like old civilizations kind of thing. So I do like that, because if you leave anything out, it gets destroyed so easily. Some things not as easy, like it might take thousands of years for things to get corroded and get back to the state that they once were. There's just like soil, you know what I mean? But things get, if you look at cities in the Amazon that they found, right, and ruins and everything in there, and it's like you almost don't see that anymore because it's all covered, right? Because the nature kind of took over. So you go 10,000 years through civilization to be able to find those places now with LiDAR technology that they wipe it out. They're like series that you can watch on some subscription, and they were like, hey, we identified that if we remove all this soil, we're gonna see a structure that is built underneath that. So
Greenland, maybe the reason why so many people are interested in Greenland.
Yeah, look at that. So
Did you know this distant island near India that hasn't been explored by modern humanity, and there's still old civilization living there? And if like one guy, he decided to go there with some guy who he hired on a boat to go there, and they basically took him and ate him. And Indian government just preserves that island, and there are really people who have never gone out to the real civilization. They don't have phones and everything. They just eat people. They're like, and you think that even today in the 21st century, if we have islands like that where people are still in those stages, then and we're just using our phone every day and watching stupid TikTok and
dancing.
Yeah.
6'7".
Yeah.
Look, there's this magazine, I remember 1995. It was Bill Gates saying that his house was all automatized. Everything we see now, we are 30 things that we have as, like we take it for granted. Right now, he used to take for granted exactly 30 years ago. So we live in, so some people may be living the same way they lived 8,000 years ago. And some people are living in 2050. Yeah, some people are, in their day-to-day, they realize something, we don't realize it, and then they are using the time completely different. You see, absolutely completely different of the distractions we have it in our day-to-day.
There are things in the world, George saying there are things in the world that we don't have access to, but people with money do. So they're living like 20 years,
50 years
from
ahead.
now,
30 years ahead for sure.
Don't go far. Things in Armenia that don't exist that do exist in America, and it's not even that far, right? It seems like it's a third world country and a first world country. Even there is a big discrepancy, and we're not even talking about the distant islands or stuff like super rich people have access to, even in this world.
So what is yours, Conrad?
You already you touched on it, ancient civilizations, but I've been falling down rabbit holes of giants.
Bigfoot.
I love Bigfoot, but I'm talking specifically about giants. Look into it. There's a certain part of the Grand Canyon that you are not allowed to go to. It's actually sectioned off or guarded by the U.S. military. It's believed that there is a cave down there that holds tombs of very ancient giants who are like 10 or 11 feet tall. There's a story about the giant of Kandahar in Afghanistan when the troops in the military were in Afghanistan. These people went to a cave. These military members were going to a cave, and popped out a giant and killed a couple of Marines, and they eventually killed the giant, and they had to take a helicopter to take it out. It's a preposterous conspiracy theory, but I don't know why I am like so drawn to it. I think it is.
But
so
you were there. You were there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I've been to Afghanistan, and I kind of like, yeah, I can see that happening. There's definitely giants living in the mountains in Kandahar for sure. So,
is that a wrap?
Yeah,
I think that's a wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Subscribe, comment, share.
Yes.
And tell us what you want to hear.
And it was a pleasure having you guys here.
Yes, thank you guys very much for joining us. It's been
Thanks
fun.
for having us.
And I love your
Great
perspective.
conversation.
I love your perspective in a lot of topics.
Yes.
You guys have to come back and talk more. There's so many topics more that we need to cover.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having us.